Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of our weekly Podium Picks. We are inside the Working Against Gravity studios. I am Sean Woodland with Tommy Marquez. Before we get into today's subject, Tommy, Working Against Gravity, our presenting sponsor, they have some good stuff going for the people.
Oh, man, they got a ton of great stuff going for people, particularly if you care about optimum health and nutrition, right? If you're trying to dial in those macros and get yourself squared away. It's almost summertime, and you know, even though we're still slowly unraveling everything that's going on in the world, there's no reason why you can't kind of dial in your nutrition. And I think that's a general sentiment because right now, this is one of the first times that Working Against Gravity has had their entire coaching, their team of 30 nutrition coaches at capacity. And they've actually had to cap it, which is a great thing because they want to keep the circle small so they can provide a high quality online nutrition coaching program to all of the team WAG people, or I like to say the wagoners.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's my first dad joke.
Okay, that's good. In spirit of today.
Yes, and so yeah, but you can get on the wait list, and we got a pretty good deal for them. I've been on Team WAG for the last now we're looking on
been a while,
almost 4 years now, and hopefully, and I'm actually excited to kind of get back to work, like dialing things in again with them because I'm probably gonna do a kickboxing fight.
All right,
in the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they can help you basically regardless of what your goals are. If you're an elite athlete or just an average Joe like me that likes to punch and kick things, they can get you dialed in on your macros. So head over to workingagainstgravity.com, use the code ELITE50. You get $50 off your first month. So pretty low barrier to entry as far as testing out your nutrition goes. And they have a money back guarantee. So if after a couple months you don't like it, get your money back. So get on that wait list.
Yeah, Working Against Gravity. Happy to have them as our presenting sponsor here for our latest edition of Podium Picks. So we are back in the realm of, I guess, pop culture. Now, this was another very difficult one because we had a lot of options here. And in honor of Father's Day 1 week ago, we have decided today that our Podium Picks are going to be our top 3 plus our Spirit of the Games and Dark Horse for what we call dad moves. So anything that your dad does or dads just do on a regular basis.
Yes. Yeah, like just total dad moves. You're right. Like, oh, dad. You know, that's like.
And there were a lot that got left off the list. This is the women's field of Podium Picks, just loaded.
Dude, I've been putting them into a little like mini email that I've crafted, and the list it's just so far. I'll be walking and I just like close my eyes and I see my dad, Tom Sr., and I just start laughing. I'm like, oh, there's another one.
Well, would you like to do the honors and start this week?
Oh, all right.
Okay. And I don't think we're going to have any overlap here.
Okay. Oh, man. I think my Spirit of the Games is going to be
You're still deciding.
Yeah.
Okay. The list has not been finalized. Right down to the wire.
Here's the Spirit of the Games. Is this one's particularly with my dad too. Overestimating your skill in any sport. And this comes back.
That's a good one.
It's like when it comes to watching sports, like, oh, come on, dunk it. That's what I would have done. Like, oh man, I would have hit that open. Like, or when you're just like sitting around, like when you're growing up, your dad's like, oh, like I'm gonna show you a thing or two, and tries to go up and do something and just totally biffs it, which is it's funny because my dad's actually a really good athlete.
Yeah.
Like he's really good.
You got it from somewhere.
Thank you. He's actually a really good athlete, like pretty natural at just about everything. So it's been funny to see that like that inverse relationship arc of me and my brother as we got older, and he's like still got the mindset like I can go and do this. And it came to a halt. I came to like a fever pitch one time at our old house. And I remember we were playing horse out front, and I did without traveling. So you pick up your dribble, and within the 2 steps, you have to behind the back, under the legs layup.
Ooh,
yeah,
difficult.
Me and my brother did it, and my dad goes, "All right, let me show you how it's done."
Oh no!
He goes right when he starts to go behind the back. You can see him start to think about how am I going to do this under the leg thing? He trips. Slams into the garage door and does that thing, where you start to fall, but it takes you like 18 steps to fall. Clips the sprinkler hose head that's at the other side and just goes flipping over the little bench my mom had set out. Just complete massacre.
Oh no!
I was dying. But that was like, I think that was the moment that my dad's like, okay, I got to dial it back.
Yep.
But yeah.
Not the athlete I used to be.
Yeah. So
well, that's a good one.
overestimating your skill in every sport. Yep. Oof. Okay. Now we got the dark horse. Okay. All right. This is gonna be a good one. This is cleaning the house in the final hour before mom comes back from a trip.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
So we all know that those weekends or those days when mom goes out of town for a work trip or for a trip with her girlfriends or whatever she's doing. She's gone for a few days. There are a couple other dad things that he does that I won't mention here. But one of them is it's about, mom's supposed to be home at 3:35 on the Friday or on the Sunday night. And it's an hour before, and you just realize that these three hooligans have just been, in our case, three dudes, just manhandled the house for a few days. We got to clean up real quick so dad doesn't get put in the doghouse. And there's nothing quite as exhilarating as that mad scramble to just, if you want to learn about family cohesion, those final like 20 minutes when you realize we got a little bit more work to do.
A lot of stuff is getting shoved in that random closet, right? Just like shut the door and don't.
Dad, where does this go? I don't care. Put it in the packing drawer.
Put it in the closet.
If my mom came home and looked under my brother's bed, the things from the house that have been misplaced.
There's my salad shooter. That get in here.
Yep, exactly. And so I think that's my spirit of the games.
Those are okay. Those are good. So I'm going to start with my spirit of the games, and these are basically all I formatted all mine in quotes.
Okay,
things that and my spirit of the games, and I think every father has said this at one point or another, is what did your mother say? Basically, wanting to avoid any kind of responsibility whatsoever, because you knew that there were ways as a kid that you could take, like what the easiest path to victory was, the least resistance you were going to face. Sometimes it was with mom and sometimes it was with dad. And anytime I'd ask my dad was more like, yeah, whatever, go ahead. But then there were times where you could tell that he was like, that sounds like a bad idea. But I'm going to ask, what does your mother say?
Yeah.
And then now I'm caught. Now I have to
go ask your mother. Yeah.
Go ask your mother. Or another one that almost made it is, where is your mother? Because he doesn't want to deal with it. So just go ask mom. So what did your mother say? Because I feel like parents try to present a united front, and sometimes dad forgets that, and then he has to make sure that he's reminding himself that. Because if he says yes and then you get in trouble, then you just point to dad, and then dad's in trouble too.
Yes.
So all right. So that's why a spirit of the games is what did your mother say? Now my dark horse, and this might be something that's just unique to my father, but men of my father's generation, they were not, they're baby boomers. They're not really great sometimes at conversation. They run out of things to talk about. So my dad's go-to every time was, have you changed the oil lately? Because always, you always got to check on the car. It's how's the job? How you doing? How's the car? Yeah. Have you changed the oil lately? Have you changed the oil on that thing lately? I remember I never got shown how to change oil. No. I didn't know how to do that ever when I got my first car. And it was all of a sudden, it was like, well, have you changed the oil? Like, I don't even know what that means. Like, you've never even shown me that. Why are you getting mad at me for not changing the oil? Like, I didn't even know that was a thing.
I drive a Prius, Dad.
Exactly. So he was. It's always the go-to. Change oil on that car lately.
Oh gosh.
So
it's like their way of just testing to see if you've been a responsible car owner. Oh.
Yeah, got to change the oil.
Oh,
and then sometimes it even filters down to the mower.
Ooh.
That's a big one too.
Yeah,
change the oil. So those are my spirit of the games and the dark horse. Now we get to the podium picks. So I'll let you start with third place.
Oh, okay.
I love how your list is. You're doing this on the fly. This is great.
Yeah. So, okay. So this is my third one. Is it's kind of. I'm trying to think of the best way to put it eloquently, and it's refusing help when it comes to fixing things and updating things around the house.
Yes.
So whether it's like a handyman or yard work or anything like that. No, I got. Well, why would you call a handyman? I can totally do that. I can fix that sink.
It just makes it worse.
It just ends up getting worse. And oh man. And that kind of comes back to overestimating like your handiness. But I can't, it's funny. One of the best things we had that my mom has ever done is she ended up buying my dad a cordless hedge trimmer. Because he had cut through the cord of his hedge trimmer like 6 times.
No.
He'd be trimming the hedges. What was that? It's like, you're lucky you didn't just
Exactly
electrocute yourself.
Thank goodness you're grounded.
Yeah. Oh man. So just stuff like that. And I can fix the toilet. And now it's kind of been passed off to my brother a little bit because my brother just put in a bidet at my parents' house. Yeah. Like my brother actually has some handiness to him. That came down the pipe. So I haven't only imagined what that's going to look like in further adulthood for him. But and if a handyman or someone gets called, like, oh, why'd you do that? I could have done it.
Yep.
Like,
no, you couldn't have.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good. Okay. So my number 3, third place bronze medalist is they were out of that kind. And that means that anytime that my mom sent my father to the grocery store with a list, and she was as specific as she could possibly be, 9 times out of 10, he came home with the wrong stuff. And it was always, well, I told you to get, they were out of that kind. No, they weren't. You just didn't look. You just didn't look and you didn't care enough. So instead of getting the Cocoa Puffs that we wanted, you got the generic brand that you happened to see first.
The bag cereal.
The bag cereal, exactly, because they were out of that kind. And you know what? I used to think that my dad was an idiot because of that. But then I realized he was probably a genius because after he did it enough, my mom just stopped asking him.
Yeah.
Nope, not my problem anymore.
Or your dad, like, I feel like it's kind of like it's general dadness to be a little bit of a miser, So the bag cereals, there's an extra $1.50 per bag off right there.
There might be for some foreshadowing right there.
All right.
That was good. All right, now we're at number 2.
All right, number 2. I'm calling this the travel dictator.
So I don't even know what that is. This is great.
This is a collection of behavior anytime you have to travel where like dad is leading the charge and you live by dad's rules. And that is getting to the airport 4 hours early.
Wow, why that late? It's cutting it close, Tommy.
Which means he's in a hurry, right? Clearly he's been rushed. Refusing to pull over on road trips.
Yes.
Nope, we're blasting straight through. And then refusing to use a map on family road trips.
Oh man.
I know. I got it.
I remember those days before GPS.
Yeah.
There, boy. I remember one time a friend of mine was going out just to play off that. My friend, they were driving someplace and his buddy asked him, "Were you guys driving?" He's like, "Yeah." And he's like, Bud's gonna, it's like Cheryl's gonna read the map and Bub's gonna yell at her. So
perfect. Yep. And the best part is like, we would take family drives from our place in Salinas all the way to New Mexico, and if we in southwestern New Mexico, Bayard, New Mexico, right near Silver City. And my dad would always try to make it one shot. So we like get up super early, like try and get there in one shot and like no stopping. Like, oh man, my parents would take the middle seat. And this is clearly like the late 80s, early 90s, like early 90s. We'd take the middle seat out of our family caravan and just lay it down on the floor. So that way, when we were on like the middle of nowhere between like Barstow and Arizona, I could just lay down and take a nap or like, lay down. And I remember when I got a Game Boy, it was like the best thing ever for road trips. But yeah, oh man, like I remember I may or may not, because my dad refused to pull over at any point, I've had to go to the bathroom in a coffee can on a family road trip.
How many times did your father threaten to turn this damn car around?
My God, I'll turn this car around right now.
Okay, that's a good one. All right, so my number 2, and this is actually maybe a little bit in line with your third place, is I can make that.
Oh, okay.
So you'd always, as a kid, you'd want something. My dad's like, I can make that for you. I can make that. My mom wanted to go buy a shelf or something. I'm like, I can make that. And this is why to this day, not to this day, but for the longest time, I had an aversion to anything that was like homemade.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time my wife suggested that we just make something. I'm like, oh, no. Let's just go buy that, because I know what homemade looks like. It's not good. And then I realized that, when you actually measure things and you get the right tools and all that stuff, it actually turns out right. And my dad was not a fan of those steps. It was more of like, let's just eyeball it and use some spackle to the wood putty to cover up any imperfections. And
Oh,
So yeah, but you know what? I'll give him credit. Go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's why the subreddit nailed it.
Yes,
exists,
exactly.
Like,
I will give my father credit for this. When we were really young and when Star Wars came out, before there were any of the toys or anything, he actually made us some toy lightsabers. And what he did is he took he built like a wooden stock, and he took a plastic dowel, clear dowel, and mounted it in there. And he put a pen light in, so you'd press the button, it would actually kind of light up a little bit. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
To his credit, we had that going for us. But
yeah.
But after that, it was basically it was just kind of downhill of everything that I can make that, and it never turned out.
There are people whose sole profession is to make these things, right?
You'd be like, hey, Dad, why don't you use this? That's a tape measure. I don't need that. I can eyeball it. Get out of here.
That's it. Why would I use something to tell me what I already know?
Exactly. So yes, I can make that is my number 2. So now we're at the number 1. I cannot wait to hear yours.
All right. So for this one for me is I feel like it's part of the craft to just be a wise guy, So for the best way I could put this was restaurant hijinks. And it's specifically my dad's wise guyness revolving a restaurant and eating at a restaurant. Whether it's, if you show up a little bit late and he's like, oh, I guess they'll let anyone in, oh, look who here comes trouble. Or anytime they drop the bill off and you're like, you got that right. Like Bill, messing around with who's got the bill. Or if the waitress comes by and they're like, oh, how's the food? He's like, oh, it was absolutely awful.
Empty plate.
Empty plate. Yeah. It's like, come on, Dad. Every dad has been tailing that joke. Not to mention there's the stereotype of the middle-aged dad, a semi-attractive waitress says hi, and it immediately is strict, oh, I got it. I still got it. Game. Come on.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's once me and my brother started being gainfully employed, he started doing the things oh, I got it, but he would short arm it, with the bill and just pretend his arm didn't extend anymore.
My dad would just straight up look at it and wouldn't even acknowledge, and my mom would be elbowing him, and Steven. Oh, okay. So at least your dad was trying to be funny.
Oh, dude. Yep.
All right. So restaurant hijinks.
Hijinks.
You what?
I was gonna say there's I'm trying to think of all the other ones he would say, whether making fun of me and my brother eating, he'd making fun of us. We didn't finish our plate. Dude, it was it just was nonstop. My dad has to eat on one particular side because he's left-handed.
Yeah.
So
I have that problem.
Yeah. So and he always likes to sit on the outside because he gets a little bit claustrophobic. But so it just. Yeah, he basically runs the show over there, and it's a hoot.
Would he use waitresses or waiters' first name?
Yes,
that's a big one.
Yeah.
We know Mike.
Yeah, just because it's a tchotchke on his shoulders. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay, that's a good one. So my number 1 dad move, and you sort of foreshadowed this, is how much? What? And it actually does apply to restaurants where you'll be sitting down with the menu and he'll go, whew, $13 for a burger? I mean, what? Wow. Whew. They make, so everybody can hear it. He's being, totally offended by the fact that you would charge that much for a burger. And then that also, to me, there's a flip side of that is not knowing how much things in his possession are worth. It's he'll complain when he goes to the store and he wants to buy a new shovel. So, cost me $20 for this shovel. Can you believe it's a shovel for $20? And then he'll pull one out of the garage. It's beat up, and it'll be I think I can sell this at the garage sale for $50. It's no, you can't do that. But yeah, it was how much is that? They have no idea. My dad especially does not understand sometimes how much what that things cost. Things change over time.
Oh yeah,
and it's whoo, wow, for that?
Yeah.
Okay. I can make that.
Yeah. One leads into a direct feeder. Yeah.
We have one of our relatives and we love the guy. He's great. But every story he tells, it's always involves some sort of, financial sum that he just can't believe someone asked him to pay, and just, it's we went there and boy, we could go to this one place and we could eat all day for just $20. And we sat down and they wanted $15 for this sandwich. I said, we're not coming here. Anyway, we ended up going. It's like, that was not integral to the story, but you just wanted an opportunity to complain about it.
There's a phrase that involves price where like, basically it's like it's akin to like selling like hotcakes or like the best thing since sliced bread. My dad used to say it, or one of my uncles used to say it too. It's a very Southern thing. Oh, I can't remember it. It's killing me, but it's basically along the lines of like, how much? It's like, what are they selling? Like this item, like it's like this beautiful, expensive thing. But
my grandfather used to do it too on my mom's side. He would just go, whoo, like that whenever you would tell him how much something was. And yeah, so that's
oh man, there's so many I left off.
Man, I mean, guarding the thermostat is one.
That's a clear one. It's almost like
too easy.
Yeah, it's too easy. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Reminding you how tough they had it. Didn't matter. Like I had to walk to school barefoot, uphill both directions. Like, Dad, I'm in AP Physics. You understand that's not possible, right? Like, no, I swear to God.
No, it's uphill both ways. No. The tectonics would shift in the plates and my dad would always remind me of the home remedies his mother used to use about, whenever I get sick or something. We would just whip up a mustard plaster. I have no idea what that was. Whip up a mustard plaster and get some Vicks and rub it on that. I'm like, this is pneumonia, Father. Like that's not going to knock it out, but thanks for that.
Yep. Vicks, the secret weapon of Mexican grandmothers everywhere. Just put a little vapor rub on it.
Yep.
Grandma, I broke my leg.
Man. Yeah. Well, I think my dad also too, would refuse to get things fixed.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't broken. It's not broken. You're not starting it right. Well, I turned the key and it didn't come on. Well, I gotta. The computer chip has got to kick in. What?
Getting up early and then lording over everyone because he got up earlier than everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been up since 6 a.m. And then by 1:30 after lunch, he's checking his eyelids for holes. That carries over. Any movie watched with my parents. 6 minutes in.
Really?
He's out.
Oh man, my friend Ben, one of my best friends growing up, his dad had this chair that he would sit in, and he would always have a big bowl of popcorn on him. And yeah, same thing. Like 5 minutes in, half an eaten bowl of popcorn, just conked out. It was great.
How was the movie? Best nap I've had in years. Exactly. It's like a Statler and Waldorf joke from the Muppets.
Yeah.
I left this one off too. Having multiple pairs of the same shoes.
Yes.
Now this fits in line with the Air Monarchs. My dad's a Chuck Taylor guy. He loves Chuck Taylors. He probably has anywhere between 10 to 15 pairs in all the colors. Oh, yeah.
I don't think my parents own that many shoes combined.
My dad's got an A's pair. He's got a Cowboys pair. He's got a Lakers pair. He's got white, every color.
That's got some
black,
swag.
Yeah, every color. My dad has somehow managed to, in a span of 2 years, look like both Cheech and Chong. It's amazing. I don't know how. I mean, I've got and before that, Carlos Santana.
He does look like Carlos Santana.
Which is awesome because our family is huge Santana fans. And I coached Carlos Santana's guitarist, his son, in football.
Oh wow,
good kid. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Just a classic grilling outside with a nice cold bruchacho.
Yep. There you go.
And that's something that I feel like you pick up early on. You're like, oh, okay. Of course, you want to man the grill and have a cold beer with it because it's nice outside. You got a wobbly pop, and it's probably a respite away from the kids and the wife inside. That you're typically up in arms about anyways, just being a dad annoyed at everything.
Another dad move, spending way too much time in the bathroom.
Oh, yes.
I've
adopted that already.
I have too. Like, it's the only place where sometimes you get a little piece of quiet. Exactly. No one is going to bother you in there. But my father was the king of, that's what I call it, the throne. He was, ungodly amounts of time. He's like, what are you doing in there? Like, it's really?
When you wake and then eventually you realize your feet have fallen asleep.
Yes.
You
doesn't matter. You just gotta plow through that one. So that was good. That was some good dad moves there. And I'm sure that there are, I always like hearing from the people. The ones that we missed.
Let us know your dad moves because there's some regionally specific dad moves.
Absolutely.
Too,
Yes, for sure. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun. That's just this week's edition of Podium Picks, presented by Working Against Gravity. For Tommy Marquez, I'm Sean Woodland, and we will talk to you guys soon.